Well, everyone, it's time for us to go ahead and take a look at the Apple Watch Series 10 and compare it against the Apple Watch, actually no other Apple Watch, and just see how the Apple Watch Series 10 holds up in 2025. Now, the thing I can definitely tell you about the Apple Watch Series 10 is that this is still easily one of my most favorite types of Apple Watches ever. It is the best type of Apple Watch you can buy right now. And if you're in the market, this one definitely makes the most amount of sense to go and pick up. Now, with that being said, I still think if you're going to go ahead and kind of look at some other types of Apple Watches, it does make a lot of sense to go through and buy maybe like an Apple Watch Ultra, in some cases. But if you're okay with getting these types of Apple Watches, then this is still going to be giving you a really good type of experience for the most part as well. So if you do want to go ahead and pick up any type of Apple Watch, that I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description below. You can get that from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of the Apple Watch Series 10. The thing you have to remember is that the outside and the exterior of this Apple Watch still holds up very, very well. This is still easily one of the nicest types of Apple Watches you can basically buy. On the front side, it's going to be giving you either a 42mm display or a 46mm display. So that right there is already a really nice layout and a really nice type of, exterior inside of this type of watch, because you're still getting a really nice type of layout. So within a device like this, the display itself is really nice. It gets very, very bright. On top of that, it's an always on display, which is really cool. You're getting your buttons on the side. You're getting your wireless charging capability on the back side. So you can always go through and just plug this thing into a charger and basically have that type of capability right there, which is really nice. And I will say this Apple Watch on the exterior does feel like a lot of other Apple Watches Apple's made, but it still is a very nice type of watch. And I do think this is easily this is a really nice watch when it comes down. I, for one, I'm a massive fan of this watch on the exterior. Now, even internally, this watch gives you a lot of capability and a lot of power as well. First of all, with watchOS updates, it's getting watchOS 26, and this is still easily, because this watch is the newest watch you can buy, this thing's going to be lasting for a long time in terms of software. So you can buy this thing today and still get a long version of software support inside of this watch, which I think is a really nice thing to get. So from that side in and of itself, this watch still does a really good job at kind of giving you that type of experience there. So I will tell you, in my personal opinion, this type of watch from that side does hold up very well there. On top of that, I think another important thing to keep in mind here too is that if you are getting a watch like this, your performance of this watch is still also going to be top tier. You're going to be getting that S10 chipset inside of it. You're going to be getting up to 64 gigabytes of storage inside, which is really crazy as well. And really, for anything you're going to be doing inside of your watch, this thing is going to be able to handle it perfectly fine. To give you some perspective, I still use an Apple Watch Series 4 that came out in 2019 or 2020 or something like that. And I still have a really good time with my Apple Watch Series 4. This has been an excellent watch for me. And I don't necessarily feel like I have to go ahead and upgrade, right? My watch allows me to check my notification, checks my messages and phone calls, and track my steps and all those things. The other types of features I don't necessarily use too much, but with an Apple Watch Series 10, you are going to be able to do so much inside of it. And because it is an LTPO OLED display, because it gets up to 40% brighter compared to older Apple Watches, it is just a really good watch all throughout. The only thing I would say though is that if you're wanting to save some money, you can always go buy a used Apple Watch Series 9 or a used Apple Watch Series 8. And those ones will also give you pretty good experiences for a substantial less amount of money. But I think the Apple Watch Series 10 still is such a great watch. I would highly recommend buying it. And, if you're in the market, it definitely makes a lot of sense to go and buy one of these types of watches. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.